And here we go. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I've been thinking about it throughout the day, and I really want to just go ahead, talk about the meta at the moment. Very briefly though, I'm not an expert on that. I've been informing myself through other channels. So I don't really have the time to think about the meta that much. But from what I'm seeing, people are just some are very happy with the changes. Some really feel like Hearthstone is Hearthstone again, and it feels more as the original standard Hearthstone which we've had before. Some people are complaining because the meta is very, very, very aggressive at the moment, which is understandable. Every single meta, I have to say, every single new, uh, you know, big change in Hearthstone has been always leading to more unstable meta and more aggro meta for the first couple of months or so. So that's normal. I do understand that many people were overwhelmed with the information that they have to absorb, including me. To be honest, I haven't been able to just do a lot of Hearthstone lately, and any kind of Hearthstone, like even reading or just researching or watching videos of some of my favorite YouTubers or Twitchers or whatever. It's just overwhelming. It's too much. It's normal. Whenever you have a meta like just a month ago, where it's a stable meta, everybody really knows what they're getting into. The decks are there for months. Of course, you could have some minor little updates every once in a while where a certain card could be replaced for a different card, where in this situation you have more aggro in your elo, and for the more aggro you do need this card to answer that aggro, of course. But in general, for the past, before a couple of weeks or 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, before Cataclysm came in, the meta was very stable and people were enjoying that. Some not, of course. Some people were really looking forward for some kind of a change, and of course we got the change. So we got to work with what we have. I'm not saying, by the way, that I'm not enjoying it. I do enjoy Cataclysm quite a lot, as I've said in previous videos. But it's just different. You have to really get involved into it, especially in the beginning, whenever you do not know the meta that well and people are still figuring things out. Even if you don't have plenty of time on your hands and you're working, or you have a family to take care of or stuff like that, and or school, and you don't really have enough time to spend in front of Hearthstone experimenting and testing the new meta and the new cards and everything. It's just normal for a couple of weeks, maybe months, to have some kind of a weird experience where you go into the game and you don't even know what deck do you want to play, because you do have that 1 hour available today, where what am I doing with this hour? Am I researching now, or am I just playing something? If I play it, if it's going to be good, I don't know. So for that matter, I've been thinking I will try to inform people just some fun decks to play. I'm gonna try to showcase those decks as best as I could. um Although I'm not very, like a great player on Hearthstone, I do have some experience with it. Been playing for many years from the beginning, basically, but I've been in and out and in and out and in and out. But in general, I do know kind of what I'm doing, and how to play the game. Although I don't know the cards at the moment, I can read, right? So we can go by that and just experience it together through my lenses and your lenses on YouTube, I guess. So let's. The plan for today is let's pick up a deck. So the best way to do that is go over here, in my opinion, on this website called hsreplay.net. So hearthstonereplay.net. They do a great job of showcasing the top decks. Um, if you're premium, of course, you do have some premium stuff where you could be looking in different statistics and different filters, but we're not, and that's fine. You could still get a nice understanding of how the meta is at the moment and what to expect and what decks are good and what are not good. And generally speaking, if you think about it, let's just go by decks. If you go to decks, right? Let me just close those things over here. If you go to decks and you see immediately you have an imbued druid with 180,000 games, that's almost 200k decks games. So that really is weird, right? Like, and you see it's 62.5%, which would mean that many people are playing this deck. And believe me, I could even go on this, and you could go on this deck right now, and for the next 10 games, probably for the first couple of games, you will be learning, but still there is a big chance and possibility to win one of those. So, and then for the next 8 or 9 or 10 games, you're just gonna be winning those percents. So 62.5%, you're gonna get it. That's how it works. Like, you don't really need to go deep into the deck and have like 1,000 games of repetition to really be proficient with the deck. No, it's just so simple to play. You just need a few games to get used to it and be good at it. Of course, some people could do different plays. Depending on your experience in the game, you could make some different decisions. But this is an amazing deck, guys. But it's very, everyone plays it. We're not looking into that. Like, we don't want to play a deck where every second opponent of ours would be imbued druid, and that's it, and we are imbued druid, and it's just, I don't enjoy that kind of thing where everyone's playing pretty much the same deck over and over. So let's pick a deck. Let's do a couple of games on that deck. We don't want to go for the weirdest decks and most difficult decks. We just want to follow what the meta is, but we just don't want to go on to the imbued druid. I think at this point everyone really knows how to play this deck, or most people know. And if you don't know by now, sadly, there might be a change which will come on the 2nd of April, which is really, let me just see here. I think it's this coming Thursday, which is like a few days from now, guys. Today's Sunday. So you have 4 days to play this deck. In my opinion, a big nerf is gonna come to this deck, which is a big problem for people that really don't have enough, as I said, enough time to come and learn a new deck. Yes, enjoy it as you can, while we can. But then, that's gonna go. In my opinion, this is my modest opinion about the deck. Aggro Druid might also just go away as the de facto, number one deck, because if you think about it, Imbue and Aggro, they share a couple of cards which work on both decks, and I think those cards are gonna hit, the devs are gonna hit them with a nerf, and both decks are gonna just go bye-bye. I'm not saying that they're just gonna go straight to the worst decks ever, but in my opinion, they'll go where they should be, and that's around 50, maybe to 55% win rate. For sure, the win rates are gonna take a hit, and maybe the best players are going to be still able to pull up insane win rates with them. But for most players, as we are, the regular just dude with a family and with a job and with kids, and that's probably not going to be your deck anymore. Probably going to be still easy to play, but you're not going to be able to capture those amazing win rates straight out of the box. You will have to make some investment to just learn how to play that. But again, I just want to summarize what I was talking about throughout this whole time. In my opinion, just wait a little bit. Don't invest in decks at the moment heavily. Wait for April 2nd. That's when the new patch is gonna hit. Decks are going to be nerfed. Cards are going to be nerfed. Wait for about a week from that day, from April 2nd, maybe around the April 10th mark. You could just go watch a couple of videos on YouTube or Twitch to your favorite YouTuber. Just go visit your favorite Twitcher, see what they're playing, see what's stable and fun, choose your deck and go with it. If you want to main a couple of decks, that's fine. That's even great. Um, but if you just want to be proficient with one deck and just win to get to legend and get that card back, or just get the rewards for legend or whatever suits your case in in standard, go for it. But for now, let's just pick up one deck. And I honestly, I've played a few decks with Shaman. I quite enjoy Shaman, so this is a deck that I really enjoy. I wanna maybe play Shaman for a few games today, and maybe tomorrow, or next week, or whenever we do have the time, we'll experience with another deck, which we'll see which one it's gonna be. But for now, we wanna play Shaman. I don't know. I just enjoy Shaman quite a lot, and it's not, it's also a very strong deck. Don't get me wrong. Probably it's gonna get some nerfs as well, but in my opinion, it's not, that simple to play as an imbued druid, or it's not that straightforward. There is a lot of thinking in Shaman involved if you want to make the right play, which I'll probably mess up a few times, but that's all right. Like, that's a part of the game where not all of us are not Firebat or, the world champion or whoever. We're just normal, regular people. We're trying to have fun, learn a deck, see the experience, see the mechanics, and again, have fun with all of that. So let's just see what do we have in the shop. Some stuff. I just hate those notification things. I gotta click it so it goes away. All right, so we do have some decks here. I've always had them in the beginning of the expansion. I'll always go through this list over here, and I'll go, let's say I'll go Death Knight. I wanna have at least one good deck with Death Knight. I'll go to Death Knight, and what I usually do is I'll check the win rates. The win rates with Unholy Death Knight are amazing. I'm just not sure if this is the old generation of the deck or it's the new one since Cataclysm. Either way, how I really go by the decks is I'll just see the win rate, and let's say I'm gonna exclude the 34,000 games, since again I'm just not sure if this includes the old Dead Knight from before Cataclysm, or if it's the the new one, the Cataclysm one. And I'll just pick up, or the best thing that you could do is just see the odd card that really there you go, the Twilight Egg. I believe this is one of the new cards from the new expansion, so you go just play this deck over here, 61%, let's give it a try. You copy it and you go, and then you go to the next class. Spell Demon Hunter, you got the biggest win rate over here, 61%. I've talked about Spell Demon Hunter while reviewing one time. I was reviewing the new portrait for Demon Hunter, which was Illidan. This amazing portrait, and my previous video I was also discussing and just reviewing Ashara for the mage class, which is also like this is the most amazing deck in my opinion. Just look at this artwork. Anyway, I was reviewing those, and I talked about this deck, Spell Demon Hunter. It was just great. It's just straight up quite strong. It's quite strong. So that's how I pick my decks. Like, I would go to Druid. Again, you see Imbue Druid, all the variations to it. Aggro Druid. You go to Hunter, you see Face Hunter, win rates are high. So that's how I would pick my decks. Anyway, I have a deck prepared over here. And since I don't really want to be so involved and change all of my decks on the daily basis, because this guy made a better run with his deck and now it's a most popular deck for the certain class. No, I don't want to do that at the moment. If you want to go and do that, then change the decks on daily basis, because you see that there is a higher win rate on a certain deck which just swaps one card from your deck. You can do that if you really take things serious and you'd like to just go ranked and in standard mode, and you want to climb as high as possible. Yes, this is the most efficient way to do that. Again, I don't want to do that. So I want to do Herald Shaman. I'm not even going to go and look at the most optimized one for Shaman. Which if you would like to do, you go Shaman, you see, the most optimized ones with plenty of games and plenty of big sample size to just compare, see what cards are included in there, change your deck and adjust it and go and play with it. So we're just gonna use this deck over here, Herald Shaman. So from what I remember when I was, playing this deck initially, and from what I was reading and learning, it seems like we're running a hex because of big threats. We would like to have at least one hex so we can hex some very important. For example, if we're playing versus Paladin, and if we have the hex handy, would use it towards the new Paladin legendary. I just forgot the name at the moment, but you know what I'm talking about. Let's just see it real quick. It's Paladin, Aura Paladin, and it is Nasdormo. So right, so if you have Nasdormo, if you have Hex, maybe it's a good idea to Hex it. And in general, you would Hex a very annoying thing, something with Dead Rattle, maybe some other big threats that are on the board, and you just Hex comes really handy with that. So I know it's 3 mana. It really doesn't counter Druid that well because Druid could, especially Imbue Druid, could just generate threats every single turn on the board, and usually it spreads very wide. It doesn't go very high, but it spreads very wide. And at some point, if it has enough time, it will go very high, by the way, because of the imbue mechanic. But generally, the more aggro decks, Hex doesn't really work that well, but you still have to have one, in my opinion. So you can counter a certain, or Egg Warrior, by the way, Egg Warrior, Egg Warlock, Egg Priest. It's this right here, the Egg of Kelos. This is a very interesting way of playing the game. It summons Kelos. It's a 20/20, and you could duplicate it a couple of times with certain cards and mechanics, and it just generates such a great board, which you can't really deal with at some point, that you're screwed at this point. If you see a Egg Warrior witch, and you don't have any way to threaten his board, or actually his face rather, because if you give him enough time, he will develop that amazing board, you're doomed. So Hex is very important, in my opinion, specifically for these kind of scenarios. Lightning Storm, of course, in the beginning, Herald Shaman in the first couple of weeks of the expansion, or even days of the expansion, Lightning Storm was not included, but because everyone was trying to play the new cards, the new Herald mechanic, and people just generally didn't include Lightning Storm, which I believe, and most people found out to be the case, was not great because of Dread and because of aggro in general. So you do need a Lightning Storm, actually a couple of those. It's just helps to stop developing, the opening from developing his board very wide. It is just a very helpful card, especially if you have it by, if you don't have anything to play. Sometimes, the mulligan wasn't great, not very great cards in your hands. Maybe you could go on turn 5 with a hero power, get the spell damage, get 4 damage to all minions with the Lightning Storm. It's very helpful. Okay, what's also important? Deal 1 damage to a minion, give your hero 1 attack this turn. This helps you in general to improve your situation with the Muradin's Last Stand, which requires, it costs 9 mana, and you draw 2 cards. At first glance, it's not very convenient to use that, and it's not very efficient, but then if you read about it, cost 1 less for each time a friendly character attacked this game. So basically, whatever you use to attack, whenever you have a minion on the board, or you attack with your face towards the enemy's face, or just any minion on the enemy's board, this will just reduce its cost, obviously. So Static Shock deals 1 damage. It ignores taunt with this 1 damage. If you need to ignore taunt and maybe just lethal kill one of the enemies that's hiding underneath a taunt, or if you have some spell damage as well, it really helps. And then your hero gains 1 attack this turn. But remember, in this deck, we're also playing Muradin, the High King, and if you have by any chance the High King's Hammer equipped, it has Wind Fury. So now the weapon becomes 4/4, you know, um, and you have Wind Fury, so that's 8 damage instead of only 6 with the Wind Fury, with the full effect in one single turn. So this also improves on that. In general, the deck has a couple of ways to kill the opponent. One of my favorite ways is basically creating an environment for Muradin and his hammer specifically to win the game, because if you have that weapon equipped just before you equip and play Deadwing, Deadwing's hero power gives you 5 attack this turn, right? So you have 5 from that. You have Muradin's 3. Sorry, the High King's Hammer, you have 3, so that's 8. Multiply that by 2, obviously it's 16. And then if you have this handy in your hand for just 0 mana, obviously you get 1 attack damage this turn again. So that's like already, what was it? 8, 16, 18, right? Because you apply the double attack with Wind Fury. So that's 18 damage in a single turn to the face. If he doesn't have any taunts to stop that, that's, in most cases, it might be little. Then also, another thing is, if the game really goes very long and prolonged, if you have some kind of control opponent, priest specifically, in front of you, once you use the Wind Fury hammer, High King's hammer, once, and you throw it back into your deck, because the death rattle says shuffle this into your deck with 2 attack permanently. You can imagine how this scales up. And at some point it will return to your hand. And obviously you will have the 5 attack with Deathwing at some point. So that's a lot of damage from face. And also, just to mention, Avatar form, which whoever has been playing not World of Warcraft, sorry, Warcraft 3, knows Muradin, knows the Avatar form, for Cosmodan and all of that. It was amazing. I still play Warcraft 3, it's amazing. I just enjoyed it so much. But anyway, Avatar form gives a friendly character +2 attack. And after this attacks, deal 2 damage to all enemies. That's now all minions, not all minions, that's all enemies. Which, okay, so let's do some calculations and some math. If you're playing King's Hammer, and let's say it's not upgraded, it's just the 3 attack, right? You have King's Hammer, which goes for, let me just get a pen, or maybe just do it the intelligent way with calculator, so everyone could see that. So we have this 3 attack plus 3 attack because we have the King's Hammer's Wind Fury. So that's 6 with 5 plus 5 from Deathwing, that's 16, as we just said. And if you have the Avatar form, that's another 4 because it's 2 plus 2, gives a friendly character +2 attack this turn, which you do Wind Fury, so it's 4. So that's 20. If you have that Static Shock, it's another 2. It's now 22. And then once you attack, it deals 2 damage to all enemies. So that's another 2 damage to the hero's face, the enemy's face. So that's 24 damage in a single turn. And believe me, it's not that difficult to set this whole thing up. I mean, sometimes maybe you're not going up to 24 damage. Or maybe, just you're hitting for 20 or 16. It's still a lot, guys. It's still a lot of damage to the enemy hero's face. And not to mention, there's also, different, I guess, ways that you could possibly get even more damage with your face. But, it could be the Witch's Apprentice that gives you a random spell that maybe somehow boosts your, damage from phase. So yes, this is a one way of really dealing with the opponent with all of that damage with Muradin's package and all of that. The other way to deal with the enemy obviously is by tempo. Sometimes, believe it or not, you may end up playing slower opponents and you could just out-tempo them and use your cards to your advantage and basically kill the opponent with generally just things on the board and going face whenever you can, right? The other way is Alakir. Obviously, it's related to the previous way that I was just explaining through tempo, because at some point, through tempo or not, you will get most likely to Alakir. If the game allows you to and the draw allows you to. Sometimes you may not even see Alakir, but most of the cases, maybe 50% of the cases, maybe you'll see Alakir. And this is another way of dealing with the opponent. You just clear up his board. You get to play two great minions that cost 1 basically, and they're like 10 mana minions. And now they cost only 1, and it's amazing, and everybody's happy. Otraxion, of course, for every Deathwing Herald deck, Otraxion is just a must-have. Or maybe most of the decks, I'm not sure. Maybe some people avoid Otraxion for some reason. I don't see a good reason if you're playing a Herald deck to do that. Deadwing, of course, if you have a big Deadwing, so the more you play the Herald mechanic, the better and the bigger Deadwing would become, and he will unlock, some things for you to do some things. Basically, again, the hero power is 2 mana, deal 5 damage. I mean, gives you 5 damage this turn. From phase, basically. It's not a spell like the mage fireball. It just gives you damage and you hit it with your champion, with your hero. So it could hurt you if you're hitting some big minions. Then if you play the Herald mechanic, obviously everyone at this point know what the Herald is, so I'm not just gonna explain all of that. People know what's going on with that. So early game, maybe you want a mulligan for the egg. Egg is amazing. If you have a turn 1, it's amazing. Same goes for Wailing Vapor. It's good because pretty much everything that you're playing after that, pretty much, of course, you have some exceptions, but pretty much everything related to the Herald mechanic is going to be element. So you're gonna get, this Wailing Vapor thing very boosted and very heavy hitting for the first few turns if you have the right hand with it. So, for example, if you play Ritual of Power, you would herald your Alakir, and you'll get 2 elementals with Rush. And also you have the Herald card on the board, which also, I believe, activates the 1 attack for this elemental, since it's also an elemental. We do have the regular Nightmare Lord Xavius to be basically trying to pull up one of those things. Otraxion, maybe Alakir. Muradin could be a nice, thing to pull up with Xavius. You cannot obviously do that with Deathwing, since that's a hero card, but anything else than that, you could. In 99% of the time, I guess you'll be aiming towards Alakir to try to finish the game, basically. Flight of the Fire Hawk. I've played a few games with this card. I'm still not convinced that this is the best card on this slot. It's good because you're drawing minions of different minion types, and you do have a couple of minion types in your deck. You have Beast, you have Elemental, you have, what else do you have? You have Dragon, and so on. But, it's a good card, but it's a little bit slow sometimes, especially versus those druids and aggro druids and face hunters. It could be very, very slow. And, more often than not, unfortunately, I want to say that it just stayed in my hands. And I never had the chance to use it because, fighting a very aggro opponent, it could be very stressful, as you know. And you're trying to defend as best as possible and clear their board and just go into the offense. Um, so yeah. So basically, what you would be mulliganing here is Twilight Egg, Wailing Vapor is good, and some 2 mana cards as the Skywall Sentinel might be good. Anything else, 3 or more mana. Oh, by the way, Hex, depending on the opponent that you're playing, Hex might be very, very good to keep. And I've had some situations where I kept it and I didn't regret that at all. Not at all. If the opponent is like a priest and the game is gonna be very slow, you could even also keep Muradin. Trust me, I tried it. It was amazing. I didn't even believe that I'm keeping a 5-drop in my hands on the mulligan, and it worked. So yeah, let's go ahead and try a couple of games now again. Just want to say I'm not the most proficient player with this deck. I'm not the best, but it will do. It will do for the purposes of these videos that I'm trying to do here. So yeah, let's just go standard. I haven't been playing. I'm still a legend, so nothing changed. I mean, it's not a new expansion or no, the reset. I mean, it's not coming yet. It's not there yet. It's the 29th of March. So in a few days, the reset will happen, and we're just gonna go back to climbing. And then, my guys, it's gonna be a shit show for the first day or two because before the nerf, everybody's going to be playing the most fast-paced and most toxic decks at the time. Gul'dan is an interesting opponent. Might be a oh, I didn't know that this is the new thing from Hearthstone deck tracker. I believe it comes with. So it tells you what to play and what to keep, basically what to keep and what to replace. Okay, that's amazing. So we're keeping obviously Twilight Egg, as I said. So here we might be keeping this for like a druid. We will be keeping this for like a druid, for sure, with this hand. But here I'm not keeping it, of course. I'm just gonna remove it. Hopefully he's not very aggro. Let's see how he plays. This row right here, if you cast a nature spell, this is more like towards the middle of the game. I don't really like keeping this one in the beginning of the game. Okay, so I mean, best case scenario hand right here. And I don't know what's the chance and if I'm tripping, but Avatar form, I feel like I have it more often than not. Like every single game, whenever I start the game, I have the feeling that after I'm done with my mulligan, Avatar form comes in. Not sure if it's only me. So here it's 2 ways to go. Obviously, you gotta pay the wailing vapor or the egg. I'm just gonna go ahead play the egg for now because I would like to be able to have this ability to have the egg develop. This is also not a bad play at all, actually. But in this situation, I'm just choosing the egg because I want a bigger egg if possible. So now it's 3-3. Next turn is gonna be 4-4 if he doesn't, do anything with it. All right. Obviously, here you do have those few options. Hero power is not recommended at all in this stage of the game, especially if you do have a nice hand. I'll go for the Taunt, Skywall, Sentinel. I'm gonna place it on the left side because on the right, Skywall Sentinel will summon the Herald, card, which will give this card over here some damage. And honestly, I'm just gonna hit it. He might be able to clear it with something from hand, but might not be. Okay, so that's a Herald, so he has no ways of dealing with that from hand, I believe. Okay, so right now we are summoning a 4-4 Whelp if we basically trade with this minion. And over here, so this has to die, right? I'm just thinking, do I play this right now or do I use my board to trade? Obviously, I really think I should be using my board to trade that early and not use this. I would love to keep this for a later stage of the game if I do have the weapon.
Where shall I strike?
Okay. I want to play this at this point, but let's see. Okay, this cannot die at the moment. I'm just trading and preparing an attack for next turn. I'll do another taunt and I'll place it again on the left hand side. You know what, fuck it, let's do that. That was a last moment adjustment. And I didn't place the egg perfectly, but that's alright. Alright. Okay, that's good. We do have Maradin now. So... yeah, we just want to place this on the right hand side, I believe. Because depending on what comes with our next draw, for example, this, if you have a spell that summons minions, they are always summoned on the right side of your board. So you're aiming to place minions that, you know, don't have too much of attack and you do want to use them as attacking tools, you know, trading tools. So for example, this healing totem, I could be using it with this spell, Ritual of Power, which heralds your Alakir and gives you 2 1/1 elementals with Rush. Oh, I could use it and have some attack on it and trade. Okay. Hero Cho'Gao, draw a card. Cho'Gao. I don't like Cho'Gao too much, to be honest with you guys. Okay. So this is a great moment for me to actually use the flight of the Firehawks because the board is not very developed for him. So I don't have plenty of threats at the moment. So I could use that. Or he doesn't have plenty of threats to threaten me and my board and my health. So I'm gonna trade. And I wish I could play that as well. I mean, I can play it, but I'd rather play another totem and use the value of my totems when the board is empty on his side of the field. It's more mana efficient to use that totem. And if you don't use it, I mean, in a situation like this, when are you going to actually use it? Actually, never, you know. Okay. So that's, I have, maybe I have Lethal, do I? So that gives your friendly character plus 2 attack and 2 damage to all enemies, which would be like 4. And I have 8. So that's not enough. And this right here, summon a random beast from your deck, give it lifesteal. This is just very bad. Because he's gonna pull up a big Ultrazor or whatever it was called, the big beast, 14 damage or 10 damage, 20 HP or something. I remember. I don't remember the stats, but yeah, you get the idea. Hmm. Could use that for the Ultrazor. Yeah, definitely. It will go back on the top of my deck. We just go face for now. Because if we trade into this, we have no way of killing it right now, the Ultrazar. So let him trade. He doesn't have a rush on the Ultrazar, which would mean that he's not going to be able to use it. Or what he's doing. What is he doing? Okay, he's just clearing our board. That's fine. So this is what I'm talking about. This is a huge problem. That's a huge minion, guys. So we still are not within range. I wish I had the weapon right now. But the weapon also doesn't give me lethal immediately. So let's play this. And then we're just gonna play... Yeah, I maybe should have played this right here. That was a mistake on my part. Because this would have been boosted with, 2 attack extra from those 2 elements. Oh, this one is not an elemental. So only 1 elemental, so only 1 attack extra. But still, it's good to have it beforehand. And let's play the hero power, see what we get. Okay. Ultrazaur, unfortunately, is going to just heal him up pretty much in full, almost. But it is what it is. Okay, there's the egg. And now we pray um, for Hex, basically. We need Hex as soon as possible, otherwise we're just screwed. I think you need 4 times. That was number 1. Or maybe 5 in total. Okay, so that was number 1. That's number 2. I think we're dead. Yeah. So this gives us 2 at the moment, which is not great. I need another one. Another Herald, I mean. Yeah, that sucks. I guess just play this at this point because it's gonna give us the weapon after that. Sadly, I think we're just dead here. So he has the Egg of Kalos, that rattle. Yeah, I don't have many options. Wow. Alright, well. I know I killed him and I'm accelerating the egg for him, but at the same time, I didn't want him to have the opportunity to trade too many of my cards freely with the 3-2. So that's why I decided to go for it. Yeah, he goes face, of course. Doesn't have the reason. Okay, he cleared up. And now I'm screwed. So now Hex or we're dead. And it's not Hex. And we're dead. Sadly, nothing I believe that we could do. Yeah. Alright, well played. Let's go to the next one and see. This is a very interesting deck. I never actually had the time to try Warwalk, other than the Tavern Brawl event, which was just before or after the expansion actually hit. I played it once, and that was it. New Mulligan Guide, I really that. But yeah, it was a nice game. We lost fair and square. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I did some mistakes on my plays. I don't really think so. I don't really think that there was anything that I could have done to prevent me dying and losing this game. I'm just thinking maybe I should watch the replay after that, but I'm just thinking, was there any kind of a way when he was low health to just have lethal and I missed it? But I really don't think so. And that's alright, guys. There will be games where you mess up, and there will also be games where there's nothing that you could do. It's just generally nothing that you could do. And that's alright. Otherwise, if you could prevent the opponent from defeating you every single game, rather, you would be winning 100% of the games, which it's not gonna be too much of fun. Just getting some juice over here. Sorry if you. Alright, so we can mirror his play basically. Or we can coin. We don't want to coin though. We would like to coin for the envoy, maybe. I think that's a better coin. And we have a 1-drop, 2-drop. You know, maybe something out of this. So we do have plays for the first few turns. Do we though want to play the taunt? Or would we... Yeah, you know, no, I don't want to play it. We'll wait and see. If I play the taunt over here, then trade it next turn, I'll still have the egg to use. Or maybe I can play it right here, but then he could play attack on my taunt, which is not gonna have attack. So yeah, this is the right play. Play it on the right side so it gains. Oh, this is bad. Each minion gets shuffled into a stack. Okay. Not great. Yeah, that's it. I'm not playing anything else. It's important to stay hydrated. So a glass of water or some juice or whatever you enjoy should be next to your desk. All right. Obviously, what do we do here is trade and then play the taunt minion to see what do you have out of it. Discover an 8-cost minion, summon, and freeze it. Unfortunately, both of those really didn't give me anything that I would like to play. It's really not helpful what I got out of it. You know, the Typhoon or the Glaciette, I guess it's pronounced. It's just not great. So we're trading out. And we are drawing. Okay, that's good. Because obviously how it works is get 2 minions with cost equal to this minion's attack, right? So if the more attack you have, better the minions. I was thinking, I actually anticipated him doing that, but I don't really find the best value into that. Like, why would you do such a thing to use your Lightning Storm? I don't believe that the value out of it was amazing. Mm-mm. Yeah, I feel I should be just using and playing this on curve. And then I have nothing to play on turn 5 actually. Oh, I could use the coin. Trade over here or here actually. Uh, yeah. Yeah, just let's go with it. And next turn, maybe we'll play this into a Totemic Call. Yeah, you know what? I'll be happy to actually trade this as well and just use it. This is becoming a problem, but next turn I plan. You know, if actually a Hex comes out, that's a good target to actually Hex at the moment. Because you don't want to really deal with a 6/6 or whatever it is. Of course, Alakir is another target for my Hex, so we'll see. Okay. I guess we draw. Yeah. Okay. That was nice. So we can play both of these now. What do we want? To get this one bigger? Or to get that one, more like equal to this one? Which will... Nah, of course we make this one bigger, right? We always do make this one bigger. Okay, so we first trade. This one's gonna be a 6/6, so we can trade into it. We do have 11 damage on board. We don't want to go phase because it could end up... we will end up in a place where we don't want to be in because he will take the whole control over the board at this point. So what do? We trade into this, right? No, actually we trade into this. This, play this and that. I know this is becoming a huge pain in my back, but I'd rather develop a little bit more of a board. I hope he has no lighting storms. Oh, this also sucks. But he will at least take some damage into his face. Okay. Not great, not terrible. Discover an 8 cost minion summon and freeze it. Can I afford? I guess this is the best time to do that, right? Just go face, play that, or do I do Ultraxion at this point? 8/9, also nice. Yeah, Ultraxion. Next turn we could go Twilight Egg, Xavius. We do have Alakir. So yeah, Ultraxion I believe is the right play. Although we do have a couple of turns before we could play our Alakir. But yeah, Ultraxion would be better. We could... No, we can't. It's a 7/7 already. Already 8/8. Jesus. These X. Okay. He's gonna clear this and that. Now he has the weapon. He don't have any draw this game. Or actually I used my Flight of the Firehawk, so I should not be really complaining too much. Now I have 9 damage. I guess this is the time that we use this. This is gonna be a 9/9. So I guess I'll just play it on the left. No, I'll play it over here. The middle. Now, let's see what Lord Xavius has to say. I guess this is the best. Yeah. I could use it immediately and do some damages. Right? And he cannot hex the taunt as well, which is very important as well. As his Otraxion, he's gonna trade. I think we won. I don't really think that he has anything out of his pocket. Yeah, good job, man. That was GG. Okay, so that was a good game for us. Maybe the opponent didn't have, the greatest draw. But yeah, at the end, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. First game we lost. This game we were on the winning side. Just continue straight up with another one. No time wasted. I wish I have enough time to play this game as much as I like, but unfortunately, real life events, work, family, etc., is always preventing me from doing as many hours as I wish. So while I do have the time and the opportunity to play, I'll play another game, of course. Yeah. That night. Yeah, he's definitely aggro. I don't see a world where he is playing the slowest Herald deck into this expansion. Or he is, Jesus. Didn't expect that. Okay. That should mean that he's control, right? Hey, Sarah. I really don't think he's being aggro. Yeah. Sounds like a blood decay at the moment. A month ago, that was a standard decay opener. Not so much nowadays. At least it's a nature spell. We're not gonna be drawing out of this. Yeah. That's atrocious. Opener. Right. Okay. A little technical interruption. Uh, yeah, I mean, turn 4 is coming. I'd like to be able to play those two cards. They will gain 1/1, so 3/4s, 2/3/4s for 4 mana with 2 draw a card for 4 mana. That's amazing value in every world. So we just trade. There's no point of going face at the moment. We still don't really know what kind of a deck he's playing. I do have a feeling this is a Risen Onyxia Herald deck, but might be wrong. Okay. Went drawing. Don't want to play the second one before I see what's coming. Okay. What's coming to our hand? Next turn, we could play the Taunt. We could play this, Hero Power, maybe something that gets to our hand from the draw. I was so wrong about his deck, by the way. Not even close to what I anticipated. I anticipated a slower deck, like a Blood Decay or something. That's aggro as hell from what he's playing. When someone get a random to me. Okay. But he still has a Herald card, so I guess that's a mix of some sort. Very early, fast early game, and maybe for the late game he does have his Anexia. Yeah. So we trade this for sure. Because we don't like being sucked. Or, you know, not in this sense. Do we trade into this? He's going to be able to play it next, I mean this coming turn. It will unfreeze. He's gonna hit us with it. And it's gonna hurt. And nobody's going to enjoy this, so yeah, let's just trade straight up. I wish we have some more ways to attack at the moment because we are really in a pinch and we'd love to have this Murden's Last Stand card activated so we can just troll. And in the beginning of the video I said something about this, oh. I said something about, you know, the unstable meta. And again, you don't really know what you're playing for most of the cases, if it's not an imbued druid or something. This guy, I didn't know what he was playing up until I saw the mix of cards, the bouquet of cards, if you want, if I may, that he's playing. But also, I'm not familiarized with the decks, generally speaking, at the moment, so maybe that's normal. Maybe that's the normal deck to play. Oh god, I don't want to hit myself for that much. I don't know if that was the right play. If we get to attack on that, we're gonna go up to 5. If we hit once over here. Can't clear this, we can't clear this. I think we're screwed. Just go face face. Face face, and it's gonna go 1 mana. We draw. We see some stuff that we don't want to see. We concede. Damn, I have no ways of. I mean, the only thing that I want to see right now is Otraxion. If I see it, I'm 15 HP. Probably I'm dead next turn. I don't have too much things going on. Yeah, just fuck it. Fast, fast, fast. Come on, come on, come on. You want to to a minion? Right, good. Okay, I didn't have enough time to play the egg. It would have been amazing if I played it, but okay, we got out of the situation for right now. But let's see what's coming.
My father sends his greetings, mortals.
Never played this card. I'd love to play it. Seems very interesting, but the meta doesn't seem that it allows for such a slow card. But again, we're having fun, so maybe I'll go play this deck after that. And just experiment with it and see what's up with it. Okay, let's play this, draw. Traction finally. But a little too late, maybe? Choose one. Doesn't look great, bruv. Yeah. This guy has a weird deck.
Feed my children.
Seems to be an efficient deck, though. Not enjoying myself too much right now, bruv. Okay. I mean, obviously. What do we even... Okay, so we're gonna remove this. We can do this. Yeah. We still have a chance, I mean, theoretically. At least to slow things down for this turn. How big is this? 3-3. Not great. If, you know... Shut up. Let's do this. That's a Wind Fury. Do I hit this right here? This right here? Yeah, I guess. That's 13, I'm 16. Are we dead? Obviously, if we are not this turn, next turn's gonna be great because at least we could play our Dead Wing and be out of this situation for a couple of turns, maybe. You know, in general, maybe we're out. But if he has lethal right now, which is 13 damage, there was no way that I could kill the 4-3, unfortunately. I did my best, I guess, so this doesn't have the Reborn. You know, that's why I attacked it with my face. So it's not with the Reborn anymore. Yeah, he has lethal. He's doing that. Found Reborn. Battle cry 2 other minions and this. Okay, doesn't. Okay, we do play our Deathwing. It turns out. What was it doing again? Herald wants to upgrade. Oh my god, I could just use all of this. Yeah, we are going for it, bro. Okay. Now we have those 4 cataclysms to unleash now. Good. That was also... Okay, so what was it? Destroy the highest heal enemy. So we're gonna destroy this. It will come back on the Reborn with 1 health. We trade one of those. We trade the Doomsayer. Yeah. So which one? Destroy the highest healed enemy first. Now deal 4 damage. Now just summon the 12-12. Have our thing here. Oh god, that was a mistake. And yeah. Okay. So he's gonna play his Deadwing now, obviously. Which, to be honest, doesn't... It's not the worst for me at the moment. At least I have a stabilized, you know, situation for myself. Even if he does play his Deathwing, I don't believe we're dead that easy now. If he doesn't, we do have 35 damage on the board and much more. With the hero power, we have rushes, we have Alakir, which is fully heralded. So we're in a good spot at the moment. I didn't really think that we're gonna go through his initial um, offense. Hey, buddy. This is Hoggart, guys, especially the ones from Elven Forest and Goldshire. Uh,
A citadel
please
stands
meet
strong.
Hoggart.
A citadel stands strong.
Let's give it a piece of meat. Look at this cute, good boy. Come on, buddy. Oh, not the sad eyes. Come on. All right, you deserve it. Okay, so turn. This doesn't help me at the moment. Yeah, he should be there, right? Mm. Okay, that's game. So yeah, you know, for somebody that hasn't played this deck for quite a long time and too many times, I've played it one day for 5 games or something, or maybe 10 games. I don't know in total, but just a great deck. It's not the most toxic one. It's not Imbu Druid. It's not self playable, uh, but it's still a great deck, and people will enjoy it. I'm sure about that. Okay, so a few hours later, we are continuing our climb or testing for the Herald Shaman. I had to go get some dinner, spend some time with my family, so I had to just pause the process, and we're back to it, back at it. I was thinking about just finishing the video with those 3 games that I played, but I really wanted to do another one, or maybe two, so we can get some quests out of the way, because we do have a few quests since we haven't been logging into Hearthstone lately, due to the amount of work and appointments that I've been having lately. And yeah, so I'd like to get those done as soon as possible so they're not sticking to my quest log. And at least we can get the rewards out of those quests and get some new ones. Okay, so now we are playing a rogue, which, if played right and if the rogue has some good RNG, could be a very annoying deck. I'm not gonna lie. It's just this class. If things go right for it, um, it's in my opinion just the best control deck ever because it has answers for everything. Um, rogue with all of these discover mechanics and all of the imbue if he runs imbue. It's just too much, too many answers, too many cards generated from other decks. It's very annoying, but it's a great deck. And Rogue actually is one of the most interesting, in my opinion, classes to play. I really enjoy playing rogues. Last expansion, I was really enjoying the Templar rogue deck, and the miracle. It's not a miracle. It's a how are they naming that rogue? It was the burglar rogue or something. So Herald. We're gonna Herald Alakir. We're gonna get those two. Next turn we could play that because this is a nature spell, so I don't see a reason why not to play this. And also just even if I point this spell Ritual of Power to the left of my minion, as I have explained earlier for the newer people in Hearthstone, it's gonna spawn on the right side. It always does. If it's a spell, it spawns on the right side. Alright, so we got his King Lane, so it's a good idea to play it at some point. Otherwise, if he hits the right moment, he's gonna shred us down to 15 HP. And by the way, there are some interesting ways of baiting your opponent that you do have Kingsland when you don't have it, and to bait him as well that you don't have it if you do have it. But that's like next level of psychology. um, which, let's just see here. What do we trade? Do we actually use the Lightning Storm right now? Because I don't really see a better time to use it and just go face, face, face. That's 7 damage to the face. Mm, and we could develop this as well. Yeah, let's do that. Sinestra is very, very annoying. But the thing with rogues, for most cases, is if you apply a lot of pressure to their face early in the game, um, generally they won't be able to. So is that okay? They're not going to be able to respond. But again, created by Soldier of Sinestra, what I was saying in the beginning, they have so much answers to everything. They're the best like control decks in the game, in my opinion, if played right, and if the cards are right for them. Now I don't really think that there is. God, I didn't see that I was actually lagged. That's a mistake on my part. Because of the lighting storm, I was overloaded, which really sucks. I really wanted to play the Wind Fury Hammer, go face twice, and next turn just go Avatar form and kill him. And now I screwed up. All right, so let's play the King's Lane, get a card, and why not Herald? So we can have that attack available. So even if he decides to trade with the daggers, at least he takes 1 damage. Now we do have 9 cards in our hand. He has 9. Just not sure what lists the rogues are running nowadays, and if he's going to be able to screw up with my hand and basically make me overthrow. Bash, okay. Do we though go for Otraxian? Or would we wanna... Okay, so let's see. So 6 damage out. That would put him down to 15 this turn, and next turn we could attack for another 6 plus 4, 10, and another 2, 12, and another 2, 14. So that's not even lethal, unfortunately. So I guess the best way... Yeah, yeah, Altraxian should be the way to go, or maybe we do instant multiverse, rewind, so on and so forth, random minions. That's gonna put us into overworld, which we don't really want to do. So yes, Outraxian it is. And at this point, we just need one more Herald to upgrade our Alakir, which is going to be very important for us to fight his Herald minion, Sinestra. We could still use the weapon and go face, depending on the situation. Okay. He's heralding, so he has Sinestra in hand. I think he's preparing a big turn with Sinestra for next turn. Was it 6 mana Sinestra or 7? Not sure, but maybe he's just preparing her. Discovering probably is gonna get oh, a Herald card from my deck, which he could use. Yeah, let's do the rushes, get rid of those dragons, and we could just do this as well. Go face with it. Rushes in the middle. Although it doesn't really matter because they would have enough either way. Just go face. Next turn, we may actually play our Alakir, but again, it depends on what kind of cards does he play this turn. Drawn by the Kingslayers. Okay, the Kingslayers probably drew him. Oh, okay, playing big stuff. Nice. He's getting me into 10 cards in my hand. I'm overdrawing this turn. This card is very good. Can't we just go face at this point? Okay. He has 14 damage on the board. He... I'm not sure what kind of decks the rogues are running nowadays, but yeah. Okay, so if we go... If he has another dragon, he can just scoop my Alakir again, which would be very nasty. I don't want to play this. I'm gonna overdraw myself. I can't do it. 6 mana. I can go face with 6 mana. 6 damage. He goes down to 11. Next turn I could kill him, but I don't have any kind of way to protect my face. With the rushes, I have this. Maybe I could kill this. Yeah, I think I have no other option. I have to play this and this. And just go like that. and wait a turn to see if he has another dragon or some kind of a way to just scoop up my board again and put it back into my hand and mess with me, which is really annoying. Mana, okay, 10 mana. Okay, that mean that wing with all of those four cataclysms. Do we want to do? We don't want to use that. Basically, we're waiting for our Deathwing at this point, so if I played this, I'll have 7 cards in my hand. I could clear his board, I think. That would go at 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2, 10. Yeah, that doesn't really kill the board, but I could also use this rush and kill the 12-12. So yeah, that I think is the best way to go. And then next turn, we'll be able to use those cards from Alakir. Or even now. Rush Wind Fury, oh, that's amazing. Um, and the next... Yeah, I could do that as well. Crap, what did I do? Okay, yeah, nice. I forgot that this also has a death rattle that kills stuff. Which is even better. I was prepared to trade with my Alakir, but it wasn't even needed. Morchi. Okay. Bunch of rewinds now. So basically, again, with the rogue as usual, we're throwing everything into the RNGesus, and we're praying for the best, I guess. Is he gonna rewind this? No. Okay, he's happy with the results. Oh, I don't want to see this Sinestra, to be honest, at this point. Alright, he's all spent, so probably one of those two cards should be a Sinestra. I don't see a reason why not. But I would like to do the following. If I have a Deathwing and I drop this, the Deathwing, I could just play it for his at the cost of his health instead of mana. So let's first draw 2 cards. What I have 9, so I'm gonna be at 8, 2 more at 10, and then we could play. Yes, there is Deathwing. Okay, so it's not even 10, it's 7. But still, I would like to do that with Deathwing. I'm just gonna play this, put Deathwing, and just yoink for 7 damage. And it costs health, not armor, so that's why he goes. Anyway, we would like to kill Morchi. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter in this particular situation. We're just gonna play everything either way. And we're just gonna play our weapon this time. Use this. Oh god, oh, screw it. I think I had lethal, but I missed it. No, it was actually one damage off either way. Yeah, it was 1 damage off, so no biggie. But now, as you can see, as I was just explaining in the beginning of the video when we were reviewing this deck, High King's Hammer plus Deadwing is just massive damage. That was 16 out of the hand. And I messed up. I was supposed to do 18 instead of 16, but yes. Life still okay. Garona. Good luck. And he's dead. And that's about it. I wish I played the druid so I can showcase the druid matchup a little bit as best to my I mean to the best of my ability, but we didn't get one to play, so that's gonna be it. 4 games in total, 75% win rate on this deck for those 4 games, and low legend. This is not a high legend rank like top 1000 where people are very competitive. We're more chill over here, but still, it's a legend rank, so it's a good kind of a showcase for the deck. Um, because we're not playing, the worst people in the world. We're still playing good players, which who know a bunch of things about the game. So that's it for the deck, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Uh, if you enjoy this kind of content. And I'll be happy to see you soon. Thank you very much.